if you guys really want to, make it out of those, make it out of the little leagues and really come into like the bigger leagues, definitely I would say start out with a producer. Producers can definitely help you get to huge places. All the contacts that they've got, they've got a lot of contacts and they can really get you into different artists, radars under labels. And, it's something that I definitely recommend.
Hello, you beautiful music creatives. My name is Mac Boris, the founder of Musician Guidance, and it is my privilege to officially welcome you all to the Musician Guidance podcast. Our guest today is a Latin American singer, songwriter, musician, producer, and actor that is making big waves in the music industry with his genre-defying music. Not only does he already have a plethora of accolades, but he is also dropping new songs shortly featuring Machine Gun Kelly and Sean Kingston. Without further ado, it is my absolute honor to welcome Alexander, also known as the Dream X, to the podcast. What's up, man? How you doing?
Oh man, I'm doing great. I mean, that intro was fantastic. I loved it, man. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure, and I'm honored to be here with you, man. I look forward to this episode. And just to kick us off here, I'd love to, learn a little bit more about your story and how you got into music.
Oh man, absolutely. Music has always been a part of me since, I've started to grow up. I think since I was 6 years old is when I really started to take music seriously. Growing up, I was classically taught by my grandpa in opera. So, having that under my belt, being able to have that really helps with melody building, really helps with, vocally and everything. So, I mean, music has just always been in my blood. It's always been in my veins, and I love doing it. But yeah, I mean, I guess starting out, I mean, like really professionally starting out. I would definitely have to say would be in 2020.
Okay.
2020, like the year for artists, I guess, when everybody
Mm,
decided like, oh, I'm guess, like a little bored at home, right? I'm just gonna do something that, to take my mind off of
I
something.
got you. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just started to take, into account music again, and I'm like, I want to do something different, something that will I guess you can kind of say earth-shattering is what people like to say. And I started to create music for an audience. So that's when I started to first I think I started under the name Alexander the Dream, which
Okay.
yeah, I started making like covers from like famous Latin songs like from Jose Jose or Andrea Bocelli, 'cause that was
Mhm.
like an opera era. But now I'm like, I'm definitely doing something a lot more different. Definitely in like the reggaeton rap Mumbai area.
Definitely. I love how you're like, I started taking it serious at like 6 years old. I know of artists where it's like, I'm waiting till I finish college. I'm waiting for this. And it's like 6 years old, like, let's go. So you knew from a very young age that like this is what you wanted to do. And it's pivoted a little, but you were
Oh,
pretty like certain this was what your calling was.
absolutely, man. I feel like since from that moment on, I knew what I was gonna do with my life. Like it was just so clear
That's
to me.
awesome.
And I feel like every artist has had that, has
Hmm.
had epitome, I guess, or
Hmm.
um that thing just pop up in their head and then shine the light on it, and they're like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
this is exactly what I want to do with my life. I love music.
That's what it's all about. And now you're collaborating with some of the biggest artists, as I mentioned in the introduction, Sean Kingston, Machine Gun Kelly. Talk to me about the creative process behind collaborating with them on songs.
Oh man, if I'm gonna be honest with you, I would if you told me I was gonna be collaborating with these artists, like let's say a year ago or 2 years ago, I would not
Mhm.
believe. I'd be like, get the hell out of here. You're kidding. You're lying to me. And I'm like, no, man. I mean, this is serious. And I mean, I guess the collaborative process with these people. I mean, they're both fantastic musicians. They've been in the game for way longer than I have. And I mean, just being able to be featured on a track with them, having them featured on one of my songs is fantastic. And it's a dream come true. You know.
Absolutely. And listening to your current music and talking to you, you're someone that, first of all, clearly has good music, but also from everything I've heard about you, you have a fantastic work ethic and no shortage of creative ideas. What I'm curious is why Sean Kingston and MGK? What kind of unique elements do these artists bring to your upcoming releases?
Oh man, these Sean Kingston and MGK have always been artists that I've looked up to, in my career. Definitely people because I've made a list, of people who I wanted to feature with.
Hmm.
This was back in 2021, and I was like just starting out, and I was like, you know what? This is like my dream bucket list of people who I want to sing with. And I put MGK and Sean Kingston, and I guess their creative process, their music just transcends time, and it's just so, and it's timeless. I guess
Hmm.
it's to the point where you can really just listen to their music and just forget about everything. That's why I always wanted to sing with them. That's why I always wanted to make a track with them, always wanted to record with them. So definitely having them, with me is going to be fantastic, and I can't wait for you guys to hear it.
I can't wait to hear it. And congrats on that, by the way. I mean, having them on your dream list in 2021 and now in 2024, achieving that, hats off to you. I know that's a testament to your work ethic. What can you share about those songs? Can you share the names of them, the release dates?
Man, I mean, I can share the names of it.
Okay.
So man, I mean, I'm definitely thinking of releasing them soon. That's
Okay.
for, but for the Sean Kingston one, that one is called BTW, by the way.
Hmm.
And for the MGK one, that one is called Senses. So, it's definitely going to be a testament to your senses, definitely going to be something for everybody and for, their ears, I guess is what people like, right?
Definitely. Can you give us a little bit more of a teaser? What we can expect from it? The message behind BTW and senses?
Man, I guess the message that we're really trying to convey in these songs is definitely, hey, I'm don't give up,
Hmm.
basically keep living the dream, definitely
Absolutely.
that you guys need to keep doing. Don't give up. Because if you give up, you'll never accomplish what you want to do.
Well said. And I think I speak for everyone listening in. We look forward to those releases, and more so now after the little tease there. One thing I want to ask too is just to get you to kind of provide some guidance. What you just said there was fantastic motivation, but also for those that maybe have, artists, maybe have a bucket list like yourself with artists that they would love to collaborate with. What advice would you give to them to, make it happen like you did? And I know that's general, but as someone that has been able to achieve that in 3 years is a very tight timeline, in my opinion, to going from having them on your bucket list to now, like this is real, this is happening.
Yeah, man, I guess what I can tell them, tell people who are looking for guidance, looking for, a way to really, I guess, make it in this industry. Like I said before, don't give up, keep making music. At first, when you're making music, let's say when you're barely starting out, your music is not gonna be that good. For me, that was the case. Starting out, I was still finding my sound, still
Hmm.
figuring out, mixing, mastering, production, everything like that. And, back then, I guess to me, my music sounded, like a hit. Like I would listen to it and I'm like, oh yeah, this is the song of the summer. This is 100% the song that is gonna, make me big. And I look back on them now and I'm like, no, man, that was trash. That is not, it wasn't good.
Yeah.
Uh, I guess for guidance, if you guys really want to make it into the industry, if you guys really want to, make it out of those, make it out of the little leagues and really come into like the bigger leagues, definitely I would say start out with the producer. Producers can definitely help you get to huge places. All the contacts that they've got, they've got a lot of contacts and they can really get you into different artists, radars under labels, and it's something that I definitely recommend.
Absolutely. Great advice there. And I want to touch on something you just mentioned there too. Actually, before I do that, what you said about, your original songs, like your first kind of releases not being that great. Absolutely. I mean, I can't tell you how many times we get DMs like just dropping a song. I'm the next Kendrick Lamar. You know what I mean? And it's like you listen to it and it's like, I'm sorry, who said you're the next Kendrick Lamar? Like your mom and dad? Like, because you know what I mean? Like not to be rude, but no, what you're saying is like with every release, like you're going to get better, and that's not even just like advice for music. That's for everything. If you golf, the more times you swing a club, the more times you practice, the better you're going to get. So, I really like that advice. You also mentioned something else which I want to touch on, which is you mentioned like finding your voice. When I was learning about you, I know you have influences from like The Weeknd, Jack Harlow, Bad Bunny, but yet you've kind of been able to forge, like, you know, come up with your own sound, so to speak. How have you been able to like pay homage to those idols of yours, but also, develop a unique sound and a unique voice?
I guess when people listen to music, they're like, oh, hey, this guy sounds like The Weeknd. Oh, this guy sounds like Bad Bunny. Or, I guess you don't want to be compared to, you know, these artists. You want people to be compared to you. Yeah,
Mm,
that's something that you definitely want to have. So I guess having that kind of style and being able to mix all of those and really find your own sound, really being able to find your own music is something that people have to definitely work on. I've had to work on it for a while, to be able to find my own sound, be able to find my own music. And, I guess it's something that definitely everybody has to, I guess, do. I mean, it's cray cray like Ray Ray. I guess that's a lot of people like to say that word, but I feel like I'm kind of going off topic now a little bit. No,
No, it's
yeah, man. I mean, it's just I guess to be able to find my own sound, to be able to mix all of those, I feel like a chef, being
mhm.
able to mix those ingredients, being able to put them in like a platter and come out with the perfect dish.
Yeah, and let me ask you this too. When did you know that you kind of found your sound? Because like I'll know, like I'll see artists that are like working on, let's say they're producing a song and they don't know when to stop. And I find the same as kind of what finding their voice. They uh they always switch it up and they don't really know when is time. Like, are you looking at just like how you feel? Are you looking at like what the numbers are saying and the data, like when you're posting, like, okay, well, this is clearly working. I found an audience, or is it more kind of internal? Like, when did you know?
Definitely more internal. I mean, I guess a lot of people they're like, "Oh, I found my sound because, I guess it's what's popular now."
Mhm.
Or whatever's hitting. But I guess internally, you have to really be able to find your sound. The thing that resonates you with, I think the thing that resonates with you the most, let's say if you're singing opera, or let's say you're singing R&B, or let's say you're singing rap or reggaeton, whatever it is, whatever you feel the most comfortable, whatever you feel like you love to do, that's your sound. That is 100% what it is. I mean, it's at first it's not going to be good. You have to refine it. I guess it's kind of like what a person when they first taste wine, right? They have to refine their palate, you know?
I like the I like the analogy. What do you say we take a break from the longer questions and we do some quick fire ones here?
Okay.
So this is going to get you to reveal your deepest, darkest secrets. No, I'm kidding.
I was like, okay, man. I mean, I'm ready, but
No, just the first answer that comes to mind, and it's don't worry, I'm not going to get you to reveal anything too dark here. First
uh,
question, vinyl or digital music?
ooh, digital.
Interesting. If you weren't in the music business, what would you be doing?
Oh man, probably a doctor.
And let me ask you this, were you ever doing anything? Because I know you said from like age 6, you knew this is what you wanted to do.
I was so I'm still studying, I'm in the
Okay.
university, so I was studying to become a doctor, but now I'm studying music production. So
Okay.
definitely something that I love to do.
Absolutely. Were you in med school?
No, so I was in pre-med, you know.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
was building up to become a medical student and everything. So I mean
Right
I've
on.
got knowledge, so
There you go.
mm.
One artist or band do you think is supremely underrated?
Ooh, I would have to say, man. Laffy or is it Leve? I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce her name, but she's a jazz crooner.
Hmm.
She's definitely very underrated. Her vocals are amazing. Her music, I mean, it's timeless, 100%. I think that she's definitely one of those artists that you're gonna look back on in like let's say 10 years from now, and she's gonna be huge.
Right on. think you're going to be one of those too. I have a sneaky suspicion.
Thank you, thank you.
Absolutely. What is the first concert you ever attended?
Ooh, first concert I ever attended was actually, and this is still in the opera roots, was Andrea Bocelli.
Yeah, wow.
And dude, that was the first concert I ever attended.
Right on. That's awesome. One of my I don't remember the exact relation I have. I think it's one of my it's a little distant, but it's one of my friend's mother's cousins, I think, was in I don't know if it was like a choir or something of them. But yeah, okay. A little
Wow,
tangent, little pearls of wisdom there if anyone cares.
that's crazy, dude. I mean, I mean, I guess having that flex, that's amazing, dude.
Yeah, you know it. What is your favorite drink in the studio?
Oh man, favorite drink in the studio. I try to stay away from soda because I've heard that soda really, I guess, kind of compacts the vocals. So I guess my favorite drink would definitely have to be, and this is a little weird, cranberry juice. I don't know. I mean, it's good for like the kidneys and everything. So
Hey, it tastes good too, but
I love cranberry juice.
that's awesome. Well, we need to get you a sponsor. Who's is it like Ocean Spray? Is that the brand? What's the
I think it's Ocean Spray. Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's Ocean. Well, Ocean Spray, you're listening. Just saying.
hey guys, I'm here.
What is your favorite instrument?
Ooh, favorite instrument. Definitely guitar. I feel like that's my favorite because that's the one I know how to play the most.
Fair.
Uh-huh. So I think definitely that's my favorite instrument. I think mainly because it's such a beautiful instrument because of the melodies that it can create and
Hmm.
just I mean from just like let's say four chords, G, E, C, D, from those four chords you can make endless music. So it's one of my favorites.
Right on. Is there an instrument that you'd like to learn?
I think I'd like to learn violin. Definitely.
Okay,
That's one of the ones that I've been wanting to learn for a while, but I've had to put it off for now because I've just been so busy, man.
that's fair. Have you been practicing at all, or it's you're just way too busy for that right now?
I mean, I tried to. So I had my little sister. She owns a violin. So when I want to go,
Okay.
she had I mean I tried to play it for a little bit. I was not good. I'll tell you that right now. But I'll definitely see if I can get better over time.
Right
Practice.
on. Well, next time you're on the podcast, I'm gonna ask you. You better be playing me a tune on it then. I'm gonna hold you to it.
Dude, I mean, I'll try, dude. For sure. Yeah.
Right on. What is your go-to karaoke song?
Oh shoot, dude.
We ask the tough questions here.
Favorite karaoke, man. I used to love doing karaoke, especially at like parties and
Yeah.
everything. Ooh, man, my favorite karaoke song would definitely have to be Fly Me to the Moon. I
Oh, yeah.
love it.
Good answer. Good answer. That or any Adele song for me.
Oh, dude. Well, beautiful. I
You
love her.
know it.
Mhm.
Last quick fire question here. What is your go-to hobby? So besides music, what's that? Are you a sports fan or what are we? Is it all music?
No, I mean, music has really been like a big part of my life right now, but I
Yeah.
definitely do have time for like hobbies and everything. I mean, I love to I am a big sports fan. I love to follow football and everything. So I mean I was rooting for the Chiefs this Super Bowl. So I mean
Yeah.
that was fantastic when they won. I should have mortgaged my house. I could have gotten something out of it, but I don't know.
Are you from Kansas City?
No, I'm
Or is
not
that
I'm
Missouri?
Utah.
Utah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Well, with that, that's completed the quickfire round. You can give yourself a pat on the back. There you go. And with that, we'll move back into the longer questions here. One
Okay.
thing I've noticed about you in this, but also, in doing my stalking on you and studying about you and stuff like that, is you're someone that always embraces your roots and your culture. And I love that. And I think that's kind of, I mean, you definitely use that to find your own unique sound, which think is so important. What I want to ask you is, in today's global music scene, how do you see your role in representing Latin American music and culture?
Man, sorry, that's my dog. Well, so she gets a little quiet here, man. Sorry about that.
I honestly can't even really hear her.
You can't hear it? Oh,
No.
sorry, that's just me.
Yeah, no worries.
Anyways, I guess being able to embrace my roots, being able to really get down to where I'm from, you know. I guess Latin Americans, Latin music has always definitely spoken to me, especially in like, because like growing up, you know, I always listened to it. Growing up, I always heard my parents putting it on, especially whenever we were like to ready to clean the house. My dad would bring out the karaoke machine and he'd put on some Jose Jose, some Juan Gabriel, some. I sometimes he'd even put on some like one of the bigger reggaetoneros like Daddy Yankee and. Definitely, I think that's what kind of shaped me and definitely brought me into Latin American reggaeton, mumba, and music that where I can really say, hey, I want to be part of this. I want to represent, you know.
Right on. Love it. Staying true to your roots. Love it. You're as I mentioned earlier, you're killing it already. You're going to continue to have a bright future. Looking ahead, and I know this is a premature question to ask now, but what kind of legacy, would the Dream X love to leave behind through your music and artistic endeavors?
Oh man, that's definitely something that I guess it's for the future, you know, but definitely the kind of legacy that I want to have, you know, I definitely want to live on through my music, especially when long after I'm gone, you know. So I guess the kind of legacy that I want to leave is, you know, kind of like dream big, you know, dream big, work hard and make it happen. Something that I want people to always remember whenever they like listen to my music, whenever they hear about my story, you know, that, you know, I dreamed big, you know,
Hmm.
but it's you can't just keep it as a dream, man. You know, I mean, like, sure, you can have big dreams, but if you just sit there and do nothing, they're not gonna happen. You got to work hard for them, you know. Definitely something that you guys, I would definitely have something for you guys. If that's something that I'm gonna give to you guys, that's something that I want to give, you know.
Right on. Yeah, anyone can talk the talk, but you got to walk the talk too, right?
Absolutely, man. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's something you're certainly doing and certainly something many other artists would like to do. So I know I asked a similar version of this earlier, but just keeping it a little more broad here. And maybe something you wish you knew, back in when you were six or in 2020 when you started really going at it. What piece of advice, would you give to young and aspiring artists who are navigating the music industry now?
Don't believe everything that people tell you. That is one thing that I will tell you. I
Hmm.
mean, some people will tell you, hey, you know, I can make you big overnight. You know,
Hmm.
hey, I can do all this. Just give me this set amount, you know, X amount of money and I can do it. Dude, there's so many people who want to, you know, scam you out of your dreams, you know, in this industry. And I've definitely had my fair share of it. I
Hmm.
definitely have had my way of, you know, learning my learning curve, something like that, you
Yep.
know
Yep.
my mistakes, you know. So definitely that's something that I would give to you guys. My advice, don't give up. It will discourage you. 100% it will discourage you. It'll be like, you know, I'm not good enough. You know, these people are, you know, taking advantage of me, but keep going, man. Don't give
Hmm.
up. Something that you really want to do. If it's something that you love to do. I mean, we only live once. This life is once, man, and we're done, you know?
Hmm.
So definitely do the most.
Absolutely. And I kind of want to touch on that a little more because that is such a big issue. Like people just trying to scam artists and or just like take advantage of them, right? Exploit them for having this, big dream. How have you been able to distinguish between those that are maybe not just trying to scam you, but just trying to make a buck off you? Like not really interested in being a part of your journey, but just, hopping on, making a buck and then leaving. How have you been able to distinguish between those people and those that are actually like wanting to be with you by your side through the thick and thin throughout your career?
Definitely, I think the way that I've been able to distinguish them is, you know, I've had to find people who really believe in me.
Hmm.
You know, because people who don't believe in you, you know, they'll keep giving you, you know, I guess short answers. They'll be dry or things like that whenever. And then I guess they won't really do as much, you know,
Hmm.
for you. But, you know, I guess when the time comes when you have to pay them, they'll throw you a bone. They'll do whatever, you know, to, I guess. But I guess to be able to distinguish them, really, you have to really set apart your beliefs. You have to really set apart the ideas of what is it that you really want to accomplish and what is it that they're doing for you.
Hmm.
So I mean, like if they're actually helping you, I mean, like sure, like if they're actually helping you, if they actually believe in your music, if they think that, oh yeah, absolutely, definitely, people who believe in you, they're not just like, oh yeah, it's great, sure, I like you, no, they're like, maybe you could fix on this,
Mhm.
maybe definitely do something different, they'll help you. That's definitely something that'll distinguish them.
Yeah, it's not just being like a yes man, right? A lot of the people that are just like yes, yeah, like they're just in it for the money. But those that are, critiquing you, trying to help you grow, it sounds like what you're saying, those are kind of the people that are r true potential team members and maybe do eventually become team members. Have you been able to build a team around you now?
It took me a little while.
Yeah.
I have been able to build a team around me and, my brand. So,
Mhm.
definitely 100% thanks to them, thanks to everything that's been happening around in my life. I've been able to, actually start my career as the artist that I've always wanted to become. I mean, especially coming on the show, dude. I mean, thank you for having me. But, it's crazy. So yeah.
Well, it's my pleasure. I'm sure you'll go on to many more bigger and better podcasts than this. But honored to have you on here, and I hope to look back on this episode in many years when you're selling out stadiums, and I can be like, he was on my podcast. We are coming to an end of the podcast, though. Just before I kind of wrap things up here, uh, two kind of final questions. First one is, where can our audience, get in touch with you? Just I'll give you a chance here to kind of share your socials and stuff like that.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to, follow me or if you guys want to contact me or anything like that, definitely go to my Instagram. It's The Dream, which is spelled Dream DRXEAM, or if you just search up The Dream X, I'll also appear there. Follow my TikTok as well. I'll be posting some more cool content, definitely some snippets of the song that are definitely going to be coming out with these two artists. So stay tuned for that. And if you guys want to contact me for features, bookings, or anything like that, you can go to dreamxrecords@gmail.com. Again, that's dreamxrecords@gmail.com. I love you guys.
Amazing. And I'll also have those links in the description so you can just click on them. It's been an absolute pleasure chatting. Final question before I conclude the podcast here. Is there anything else you would like to share? Maybe something you thought I was going to ask and because I'm blonde, just simply forgot. Is there anything else you'd like to share here?
I mean, I guess I definitely want to share. We do have some new music coming out March 1st. This is going to be a little bit before, kind of like building up to the
Okay.
hype of these artists. It's called Drama. It's definitely an eclectic beat, definitely a lot different than the music that I've been creating. So it's definitely gonna be, I guess, like something different for your ears, something that you guys can definitely dance to, something that you can run to 100 miles, whatever it is, man, because this song is gonna be it. I love you guys.
Heck yeah. I can't wait to hear it March 1st, you said?
March 1st comes out.
Amazing. Well, I look forward to that. I'll have all your links below again. So for you listening or watching, get in touch with Alexander, the Dream X, and let him be an inspiration and motivation to yourself that your dreams are well within your reach. Those names you have on your bucket lists of people you would like to collaborate will come true if you put in the hard work and you be professional, as the Dream X has done, and I have no doubt will continue to do. In the meantime, though, that is going to conclude this episode. Until next time, I've been Mac, that's been the Dream X, and you've been amazing. Take care and keep making music.
Thank you so much. I'll see you guys later.